acceptable. Hello everyone. Today is my first day back in the studio for a little bit of time. I had taken a bunch of pieces home to carve and work on at home, and during that time period I kind of had like a project pickup outside of ceramics. So it's good that I took some stuff home so that I could work on it, but that means that I'm behind in the actual studio. So this is my first time back in the studio for like 2 weeks now, which is probably the longest I've done this this year in 2026. But first things first, I'm gonna do a kiln haul. So, all right, so this is kind of precarious. I really shouldn't be handling things like this. So if you watched a few of my videos previously, you might recall that I had a bunch of greenware left over from 2025 that I really needed to do something with because I was clearing out my shelf. So the first bit of this is that stuff. This turned out really nice. I love the blue. This has always been one of my favorite looks to do on a piece. Then we got this bit of an experiment here. I don't know if I think I included it in one of my videos, but this one had a crack during greenware, so I just kind of experimented with the texture of it. I think it turned out nice. I'm probably just going to keep this one for myself, but if you see here, there's a crack right there. On the outside, the glazes kind of filled the crack, but on the inside, it's a little more visible, so. And the last one, I previously said that this purple burns out a little faster, which isn't really that true, as it seems. But it actually does something kind of interesting. Like it almost does like a shadow here. I don't know if you can see it. The coloring, the pigment has kind of fallen down with the glaze. So it's almost like a little shadow at the bottom of this. Okay, on to some more leftover pieces. I got these 2 pink heart dishes. We got a clear glaze on the inside and a pink on the outside. So I think that turned out pretty much exactly like I had imagined it. Very cute little like earring, trinket ring dishes. And then we got this starburst guy. The inside is a black underglaze painted in a starburst pattern. I'm using my little sketchy line design, and then kind of dusty. The outside is dipped in a black, it's actually kind of a very, 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 very dark blue black, but in general it's like black. So I think it looks really great. I guess my only critique is I kind of wish I went around the rim in the black, but that gets really tricky with the glazing strategy, and in the end, I don't think that it mattered enough to do that. Got these 2 here. Now, where's my moss pot? Since we're on the sketchy line design, I have these 3 pencil holder things again. These were definitely an experiment. There was really a testing of shape and a testing of color, starting with the kind of odd one out. And it's got really shallow rings. This is painted in a black underglaze. And I actually think all the foot rings on these are pretty messy. So in the end, these end up probably being seconds because they're just tests. And then the other form was a kind of deeper ring on the outside with a flat ring on top. One was shorter, one was taller, as you can see. One was blue, one was green. One had horizontally kind of swirly sketchy lines. The other one had vertical straight lines. In general, I think my preference is probably for this form factor to do the vertical lines because I think it just like, it juxtaposes with the UFO lines, the horizontal rings very, very nicely. I'm very, very pleased with this one. So this, I think, I will continue for the next collection. I think the green turned out nice. I think I would still prefer the vertical lines when it comes to this though. And it's easier to paint than this kind of like wavy thing that I'm doing. All right, and then on to my fluted pieces. It's most basic first. This is the most basic of basic fluted pieces. All right, and then we got my mid-century modern piece, or like Zen garden. I still choose to think of this as Zen garden-y rather than Art Deco-y, but I think this turned out super nice. The fact that this was hand carved and the fact that this took a lot of like math and precision just makes this all the better. Like this is an amazing piece. I'm obsessed with this. It's so like tactile, like, can you hear it? All the little details that I was worrying about when I was carving obviously got filled in. with the glaze. So you don't even see like some, imperfections and stuff like that. I'm obsessed with this piece. This is perfect. Last one is my moss pot. I only fired and glazed one of the two that I had. This is the one without holes at the bottom because the other one needed the drainage dish to be bisqued first. So that one wasn't ready. But this one turned out pretty freaking amazing. I mean, I'm looking at it really closely now, and I think I don't see any cracks that we were concerned about before, like around the mounds, the rocky kind of mossy things. I guess if you look super closely, there might be some, but in general, this is not meant to be like a food vessel, so I really don't care that much about like these decorative cracks. There is a very, very small hairline crack at the bottom of this, which I'm not happy about. And that I think is because it was a little too dry on the bottom of this when I was trimming it. So I might have been pressing a little too hard when I was trimming. Amazing. Quite happy with this. Very, very happy. Ta-da! That's the haul. That's the haul. Overall, pretty happy with my test pieces this time around. So at some point, test pieces have to become real pieces in part of a collection. So my goal today is to really plan out mentally in my mind what I want to do or what I want to accomplish for this next series, this next collection. I am definitely for sure thinking that these guys, this form factor, the little mini thingies, is going to be part of it. I'm still trying to decide if I want to put holes in the bottom of this so it could be a proper planter. I'm thinking not, but I'm not 100% sure. My moss pot, for sure. This one's a little bit more labor intensive, but I really, really like how this turned out. Like this form of a trinket dish, the rounded edges is a little out of my norm, but I quite like how the inside was like a starburst form and the outside was black. So I liked how this turned out, but I think the form itself doesn't quite match my my currents. Like these two don't really go except for the pattern, right? So this is a maybe. This is something that I want to add to my repertoire. 1, 2, 2-ish, 3, and 4. Love these, okay? All right, and we're back home. You probably already saw this in a previous clip, but I have to sand the bottoms and take pictures today. So that's what my goal is. But I was also looking back at my footage and I thought, oh, I should probably explain what these like little lines are that I do in this, the pattern that I do. It comes from learning to draw in architecture school. It's kind of a known fact that it's very difficult to draw very perfectly straight lines. Like to draw a vertical or a horizontal straight line, you're inevitably going to be slightly off just naturally because there's kind of like a curve to your body. Your body's not straight. Your arm moves on an axis. So basically what we were taught is that there's an art to drawing a line, and drawing a wiggly line with kind of character and texture makes it a little bit more interesting. Basically, the idea is that you lean into the unneatness of it, and therefore you emphasize the wiggles. Emphasize the wiggles. And now on to the high-low what do you know for this week. The high is that we've just been having absolutely beautiful weather. The past 2 days have been like 60, 65. No rain, no nothing. And I'm sure it'll end soon and we'll have like one more cold snap before spring actually starts. But it's been really nice to be able to see everyone in the city, get out, go out. It's actually been really crowded, actually. Excuse me. Please be quiet. My windows are open. But I'm sure it'll get cold again before it gets really warm. So I've just been enjoying it as much as I can. My low is that I broke one of my absolute favorite hair clips. I found these in like a thrift shop in upstate New York. They're like these little barrettes that I often wear on the side. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I could just glue it back on. But the decorative bit just came off. So I'm pretty sure I could just glue it back on with some super glue. Maybe I'll do that. And my what do you know fun fact is, this is so random, but I have this like really good solution for hiccups. And this is like for hiccups that are related to like eating or drinking or something like that. But someone in elementary school once told me that the reason why you get hiccups is like you have like little air bubbles in your throat from like a fizzy drink or some food or something. And the best way to do it is to take a giant gulp of water, throw your head back, and so that your esophagus is kind of like compressed, and swallow it as hard as you can to try and push those bubbles down through your vocal cords or like whatever anatomy is here needs to be compressed. I have no idea if that's true. I might be spreading misinformation. That is my trick for getting rid of hiccups. So yeah, okay. So enjoy these clips of Kuma in the previous New York City blizzard. Really enjoying the snow. Keep making stuff. I will keep making stuff. I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.